Oops.
What up? What up? What up, y'all? I said, what's up? What's up? What's up? Bum, 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 bum. This your girl, Two Tone, baby.
Y'all already know who this is. It is Miss Iconic, the hostess that always does the absolute mostest. And today, honey, I am doing the mostest with my pink attire because we are talking about P Valley today, honey. So I have on my pink. My bad. I have on my pink. So welcome to the pink. I mean, real slow speak. Man, today we have a guest, a lovely guest, man. We are so thankful to have her on tonight. She's going to be joining in on the conversation. You guys, just because you're not a panelist does not mean you can't join in on the conversation too. Get in those comments, share this video, and I mean, let us know. We having some real talk on tonight. Have some real talk on tonight.
Yes.
Bring it in?
Yes, like, you know what? Down in the valley where the girls get naked. If you throwing bands, then you know she gonna shake it. 1, 2, break up. 3, 4, rake 'em. Hey,
girl,
like,
I said bring us in. Not
oh my bad. Like, I was so excited about
it.
it. I was ready. I was so excited. I've been practicing that all day, y'all. So we're talking about P Valley today, and I was super excited to hear that we were going to discuss this because what better way than to, like, it's some real talk conversation in this what is it, like a series, and
Let's do that. So for those of you guys who don't know
go.
what P Valley is, first of all, let's do that. P Valley is a series, right? It follows strip club workers and sex workers. You know, just to keep it real, that's what they are. Known as sex workers and strip club workers, not just the strippers, but everybody in there, you know. It follows their lives and stuff, located in a place called Chucalissa, Mississippi. Yes, Chucalissa is a real place, y'all. But fun fact, this wasn't even filmed in Mississippi. It was filmed in Atlanta in Tyler Perry Studios. So I didn't know that. But anyway, it goes through, it was actually a play. It's adapted from a play written by Couture Hall. And you know, it's called Pussy Valley. So they took that out, you know, to keep it kind of, I don't know, rated mature, rated PG, whatever.
Right.
And they call it P Valley. So anyway, yeah, it starts off though with a young lady. She got from Houston. Come on, H-Town. She got wrapped up in the bad storm that happened in Houston, and she got displaced and was in the water, you know, surviving the storm. I believe for days or something, and she survived, and she washed up on the shores of Chucalissa, Mississippi, and that's how the series starts. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the background.
I'm just saying because you have to do that. Everybody don't watch it.
How are you?
Everybody don't watch it.
How are you, Shantae?
I am good. How are you guys doing?
I am well, and we're definitely, like Chris said, we're so excited to have you today. So just kind of like just jump right on into it. So what were your thoughts on this series? Like, what were your first thoughts, your initial thoughts?
So my first initial thought was like, okay, what could this really be about? You know, you really don't know when you're just looking at like the previews, but then you kind of hear more and more people talking about it. So you're like, okay, well, you know, every time I see the previews, it looked a little bit more and more interesting. Yes. So that's why I was like, okay, well, you know, let's go ahead and watch it, you know, and after that, it's been hooked ever since.
So that was a wrap.
So you're telling me that as soon as you jumped into it, you kept going.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you really don't know the true story from the first 2 or 3 episodes. You know what I'm saying? You really don't know what it's really about until you get to that like 4th and 5th episode of it. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of really pay attention and really sit back and observe everything that's going on in that particular series. So you're not just really gonna catch it off right off the bat.
Okay, that's true.
But that's interesting because everybody that I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. And I think it's because, you know, P Valley is definitely not for everybody. It's not for the faint at heart. It's not for the people who are still out there afraid to live in their truth, because this series speaks to those of us who are living in our truth. And if you're still not doing that, and if you're still afraid of you know, meeting society standards and things like that, you're not going to enjoy the show, because this show is raw, is real, it is very raunchy, but it's real. It talks about things that people are going through every single day, and I love the show for just bringing those things to the light. It was amazing to me. Like the first time I watched it, I was hooked. Like you, Shantae, what did you think about it, Tiff?
And so, y'all, forgive me, because as soon as I started watching it, I was not hooked. Because when I first seen it, I was like, "What is this? Like, gosh, just so much nudity." I mean, I know I'm an adult, but I was like, I ain't really trying to see all this. And it took me a while to watch it. Like, I sat down, then I was like, it's all right. Then I started over episode 1 like 5 times. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally just going to sit down and watch it. And boom, I literally just finished it. And I think it was I'm glad that I finished it, because wow.
What was it that changed your train of thought from this is too much nudity to, okay, I actually really like this show? Or do you even like the show?
I did like the show. I enjoyed the show thoroughly, that I'm ready for the next season. But what it changed. I had to look at it from a different lens. Because oftentimes we jump into something and we just look at it from surface. So if one walks into the room while you're watching television and they say, "Oh, what you watching on TV?" You know, and then instead I'm like, okay, no, that ain't how I'm supposed to look at it like that. I'm supposed to like literally see what's going on. Like, okay, why are they doing this? What is the director trying to convey? And once I changed my perspective on it, yeah, it made a difference.
So what is it that you think that the director was trying to convey
Wow,
with this series?
it's an eye opener, you know, like even when it's like because it based out of a strip club, those strippers, they go through so much, you know. So forgive me, but when I used to think of a stripper, I was like, oh wait, what are they doing? Like, girl, you don't have to do all that, you know. But really, like, these women, they're trying to make a way. So many people are coming from domestic violence. There's a lot of people that, you know, that is just their only thing they can do. Like, they might want to, like Mercedes, one of the characters in the film or in the show, she was trying to start her own gym.
Right. She was trying to make it out of the strip club. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want to just stay at the strip club, even though she was like, well, 25 is the retirement age for strippers. She really wasn't. She was trying to say, okay, I'm trying to get my daughter back. I'm trying to make a different type of living, and I want to own something for myself.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
What about you?
Mercedes is the OG though. Like,
yes,
I don't think they specified how long she had actually been there, but Mercedes was like the OG of the strip club. You know what I mean? She was the one everybody came there to see. She had her own night. Mercedes.
She had her own clientele and everything.
Yeah.
So, what y'all think about like when Autumn came in, or even okay, as far as the transition, from Mercedes being the OG, she paved the way, and then now you have these other strippers who are coming in who maybe have not had the light shine on them like she has, and she's having to pass the torch, so to speak. And there was a few scenes where she was not happy about passing that torch. Like, Gidget, she was the one white girl in the whole thing. And you know, she had something special about her. To me, if you ask me, Mercedes didn't really have nothing special about her. She
probably just had like the good body and the good dance.
She had the good body.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like it also played that whole role of the dark skinned, light skinned girl.
Yes.
So that's always, you know, another issue for dark skinned and light skinned girls. It's always a conflict, and it's always like they're butting heads. But in reality, it's like they have things in common if you really sat to get to know that person, which they actually end up doing. It became really close friends.
Yes. So. How would y'all feel like if y'all was working in the strip club and then somebody came like, would you be receptive of that, or would it take you a while? Even Autumn Night, like you said, the whole color complex thing. Like when she came in, they was treating her like real stank. They ain't want nothing to do with Autumn Night, honey. No. Even Mississippi finally got her time to shine, and Mississippi is a bad chick, okay?
Yes.
Mississippi is bad. I loved watching her perform.
I did too, because she actually made it kind of like an artistry. You know what I'm saying? Like there's more to just dancing. It's how she danced and how her body moved to the music and everything. So it's a performance also. It's just not about stripping and taking off your clothes. It's a performance.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And also with Mississippi, real quick, that was her way to get away. Like that even, you know, feeds to the fact that you never know what people are going through. Like she enjoyed being at that strip club so much because she was running.
That was her get out. Yeah. That was her getting out of her situation of being at home. She like, okay, I need to make some money, but I also need to get away from this guy as well. You know what I'm saying? So
and bringing her baby to the strip club.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I know I looked at that kind of funny at first, but then I was like, well, damn, I guess she got to do what she got to do. And again, you never know what people going through. I'm sure she was afraid to leave her baby home with her abusive husband, not knowing what he would do to the baby just to, you know, just out of spite to get at her.
Because he didn't want her in the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So any type of thing that somebody that's abusive is going to do, they're going to manipulate your mind. You know what I'm saying? And they know your kid is your heart. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to use that kid against you.
Yeah.
Exactly. One second. Chauncey has joined us. Can you go ahead and add him?
He should be on there.
All right, Chauncey, you there? Cut your phone off of the mute and cut your screen on your video, please. At the bottom, in the left. But so anyway, what were you gonna say to?
I unmuted. I just can't cut my doggone video on.
Oh, so right next to the mute button, it's a start video button.
Yeah, I must. It ain't on my flip phone. For some reason it ain't working.
Oh, so you just over here with a flip phone?
I'm messing with y'all.
We're not gonna feed that.
He like Patty. He like Patty LaBelle with the flip phone.
Right,
no, I'm at work. I'm at work, but I don't have that button on my phone for some reason. I have the mute, the chat, the raise hand button, but I don't have that other button. I'm sorry.
We can't see you, but anyway.
I'm here. I'm black.
Okay. You were getting ready to say something.
When it came to the boyfriend with Mississippi, or M.I. Crickaletta. Yeah. So I was so like disappointed when, I was disappointed when the bouncer was beating him up for her.
Let's not go to the end. Let's talk about some other stuff in the middle first before we jump to the end.
Yeah. Well, when she had her debut for that's still kind of the end. So, okay, keep going.
Chauncey,
what's up?
On P-Valley, what are some of the things that you feel like the director was trying to convey? Because like we have been discussing, you know, everybody tunes in and looks at it like, okay, it's just a bunch of strippers, it's a bunch of nudity, like, and people kind of like underappreciate strippers. And I'm telling you, I did a pole dancing class, not to get off topic, but I had a newfound love and appreciation for strippers because that shit is hard.
hard.
I told you
So hard.
it's the artistry. That's why I said it's a lot of work. You know, it's a lot of upper body strength, a lot of leg strength, a lot of arm strength like that. That takes a
A lot of mental strength. Like, don't forget that part. So,
Yeah.
Chauncey, what do you think?
As a man, it's all lovely and beautiful and okay, sensual and sexual. But what it did for me is it brought us to a place of unfamiliarity. What I mean by that is everybody goes through something. I don't care if you work at McDonald's. I don't care if you is a CEO of your own business. What they did was they brought you to life of
Uh-oh. Hold on.
you have people who strip, who like for me, firefight, but I go through and I meet different types of people. I like how they had the I like how they had Uncle there. I like how Uncle had
Uncle Clifford.
what? I like Uncle Clifford in there because it showed a side that people need to get used to because Uncle Clifford and his lifestyle is he's still a human. The rapper, his lifestyle is different, but he's still a human.
Little Murder.
Clifford,
We just gonna throw the names out there. You keep on talking.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, we can see you.
the strippers are human. They just went through something that we all somehow can relate to. So it just brought you, it should be an eye opener. And if it's not an eye opener, then you are stuck in an old fashioned world. And I noticed that you had some people are stuck. Some people need to come into their own truths. I think some people are stuck in their falsehood, and they're going to be stuck there, and society is going to go on without them. And you know, and I know there's some people who believe in you know, they follow their religious beliefs and don't believe that, you know, I can't believe in a gay lifestyle. I understand that, but guess what? If that's in your family, I would hope that you would love that person
Regardless.
regardless, because it's just like us. We on this panel, we're all Black. Somehow, some way, we've been mistreated. So how dare us mistreat somebody else?
Exactly.
For their lifestyle.
Exactly. What do
So
you seem to be a fan of Uncle Clifford, and I am too, honey. I got on my paint today. But what do you think about the dynamic of Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda's relationship?
Okay, well, first off, let me say this. It was very hard for me to watch because that's not my particular lifestyle. I like women, but I this guy played that role so it was just fantastic.
So good.
From emotions to drama to let them know, hey, I'm the leader, but sometimes I might cry. You might have to straighten me out, but I'm gonna put you in your. I mean, Uncle Clifford did such a fantastic for real role that I was a fan. Now their relationship with Lil Myrtle, whoa, there was some scenes I had, you know, I had fast forward or wait a minute, but yeah, woo. I mean, some scenes. If I'm an actor, some scenes I just can't play yet, but I'm gonna learn. I don't know, I'm not. But I mean, it was real. It just needed to be. It needed to be shown. Everybody
puts you in that perspective that there are some men that do dress up like women, you know what I'm saying? And then you have the rappers who are undercover and who are not, you know, really cool with letting everybody else see it. Even though there's people that do see it, you know what I'm saying? And they may not say nothing, you know what I'm saying? But they's like, okay, you my homeboy, whatever.
Right.
So that particular side, like he didn't really want to let that out, but he wanted to let it out to the world with him and Uncle Clifford. But he didn't want to let it out to his friends. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. That's funny you said so. I believe in God, and I believe God do mysterious things. I call him the Most High. But I remember I came down here to Florida, and this guy, definitely gay, flaming, he ended up being a good friend. If I needed anything, he ended up being a good friend. I ended up being homeless for a couple of days, and I stayed at this place. Now the funny thing is, because I had this teaching of how I supposed to be, I slept all night with one eye open. He didn't bother me. And then he finally said something to me. You think I won't bother you? He said, I'm not attracted to you.
Do you
He
get
said,
offended after that?
I'm here. He said, I'm
Hurt
here.
your ego quick. Just because I'm gay, I don't want all men with a penis.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And he was like, I'm here to help. I was here to help you out. A minister told me to come help you out. I'm doing what God has asked me to do to help you out. That's all. I'm your brother. And I was, from that point on, this has been over 10 years ago. From that point on, my mind has opened up to be like, hey, look at me. I'm up here judging, worrying about my little booty hole. He ain't even trying to get none of that. He just trying to be what he's trying to be.
Right, which was a good friend because you were somebody.
Yeah, and we became, I mean, he passed, but we became best friends. We were really good friends. I didn't care what people said about him. Well, I don't care a lot of people say about anybody, but I didn't care what people said about him. I didn't care what people said about me, because they're going to say what they're going to say regardless. But
people going to talk about you to the day you die, whether you're doing good or doing bad. It's like, it's just in their nature to say something negative about somebody else.
And that's what was happening to Uncle on that TV show.
Steve.
But you know what? Like, yo.
I need you to chime in on one, the dynamic of Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda's relationship, as well as, you know, a point that Chauncey brought up. Do you think, because I used to think that straight men and gay men could not have a platonic relationship. And I spoke very loudly and proudly about that, because I know straight men that say they're friends with gay men. And I'm like, nigga, I mean, dude, you gay. You know what I'm saying? You're bisexual. You're curious. You're something. There's no way a straight man can be platonic friends with a gay man and not have some type of curiosity. And you know, it was an ignorant statement. I said that out of ignorance because I had never seen that before. And to add to that, like the straight guys that I knew that were friends with gay males end up being turned out very, very soon after. Really? So my experiences have told me,
yeah, where you live at?
Straight man can't be friends with gay men. So Tiff, I want to hear from you.
Okay, all right, Chris. So for one, Murda and Uncle Clifford. So instantly, I'm like, when I first seen Murda, I'm like, oh, this old thug dude, Lord, he got golds all in his mouth.
So sexy to me.
It's that Florida thing or something, because I was like, where's your teeth? Like, are they white or not? So I seen that and I was just like, okay, it's just a regular rapper with all these chains. When I seen Uncle Clifford, you know, like literally, I was like, man, this dude's sideburns on point, like his wig's on point. I'm like, come on, sis. But then, like, when he walk away, he be sagging and stuff, and I be like, I'm confused. Like, what is going on? He's sagging. He got boxers, but he got a blouse. Like, so but people are like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that dress like that, and there's nothing wrong with it. So to answer your question, how was their dynamic? It was so interesting because it seemed like Murda really wanted to be free. He really wanted to come out there and just be who he was. Like, he started feeling comfortable. He started doing started doing a little romantic stuff for Uncle Clifford.
Right, exactly.
Uncle Clifford knew he was the dude.
It was so cute.
I know it was.
I feel like there was a lot. I mean, it was cute, I guess, but I feel like your gas is gonna run out or something without them lights in the car. Like, what is going on? Like, your battery dead afterwards, you know? So, I mean, I guess it was thoughtful. Duly noted, we'll tell somebody to put lights in your car and see how cute it is when your battery dead. But but no. But anyway, so like with Uncle Clifford, I think he knew that Murda was kind of curious or whatever. So he didn't really open his heart up. And then a boy started like showing process, like he kept going, and then Uncle Clifford kind of started getting lax. You
got to pound your hand like he kept going. I don't like that. You pounding your hand.
Chauncey, you play too much. I mean, he kept going, Chauncey. You know?
Let me ask y'all, why is it so socially acceptable for first of all, let me just put this out there. For the viewing audience, I am a bisexual woman. Chauncey, you have stated that you are a heterosexual man. Tiff, your sexual orientation, if you don't mind.
I'm free. AF. No, I'm straight.
And Shantae, your sexual orientation.
Bisexual.
Okay, so we have a mix here. Why is it that gay females, lesbian females are so are more socially acceptable than gay men, especially gay black men? Now, if you see a gay white man, it's like, oh, okay, he's funny, he's cute, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, that's cis. But if you see a gay black man, you know, most people frown towards that. And for me, like, P Valley showed me that it is okay for black men to, you don't have to be gay or bisexual, but it's okay for black men to feel vulnerable. It's okay for black men to be expressive and understand that it does not take away from your manhood. I don't think that the attraction between Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder was so much of a manly thing. Maybe for Uncle Clifford, yes, because Uncle Clifford was a gay male. But for Lil Murder, I don't think it was like, oh, well, I'm gay, so I'm gonna like a man. No, it wasn't attraction to his sexuality. It was attraction to his personality. It was attraction to his energy. And you can get that energy from a gay man, a straight man, a white woman, a black, like, it doesn't matter. I think that P Valley, one of the main points that the director and the writer were trying to convey is that love is love. And to show that love has no limits and no bounds. Even Mississippi was with a white man. You know, they showed that interracial relationship and switched the dynamic, because black women are usually deemed as abusive and angry and everything like that. But now here she is getting her ass beat by a white man who, you know, so the dynamic of that was switched. If anybody wants to add to that or speak on that.
I would say mainly because growing up, you know, for boys, it's not taught to be soft. It's, you know, you got to be hard. You can't.
Man up, get up, shake it off.
Yep.
Shake it off. You know what I'm saying? So they have to hide their emotions and hide their feelings. But in this particular show, they showed emotion. They expressed themselves. You know what I'm saying? They were able to be free. You know what I'm saying? Especially for Uncle Clifford. But once, you know, Lil Murder, he came in. He tried to be a little hard, but he got a little soft spot, you know what I'm saying, for Uncle Clifford. And I would say that time when Uncle Clifford came to the sat down by Murder when they was talking to that producer guy. And he was like, no, we talking business right now. He was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay. And then, you know, they went there and they started talking, and I actually saw Lil Murder about to cry. So it's like he tries to be hard, but he does have a soft spot for Uncle Clifford, and they actually had a real connection. You know, so it's just mainly the fact that, you know, men are taught to not be gay and not be this and not be that, you know, so it definitely changes the dynamic for that.
Chauncey, your facial expressions say that you have something to say. Let us hear it, Tiny.
All right. As a 45-year-old man, we are raised when daddies are around, definitely not to cry. It is a definite no-no to be gay, to like other men. You better not. You better not. You better not. And it's almost worse than saying you better not cry. You better not be gay in my household. So for my age group, that was a no-no. It was taught in the household. The household got that from the church. The church don't know where they got it from. I guess God spoke on it. I'm just going by, but you know.
I don't know what God some of these churches serve, but anyhow, go ahead.
So yeah, some things are still not easy for me to like just be like, okay, I know you're gay, and that's fine, but I'm not. I personally am not going to go to no orgy fest. You know, there's some things that I still am stern about as far as being a male. I do believe that a father not being around does make a difference. I'm not saying on sexuality, but I think men or boys nowadays are a little bit more sensitive to everything, as far as like they're not in the homes. They don't give it they let their emotions run them, which it can be dangerous. You can't take your emotions on the job, and that's what some of the things that I think a dad or father teaches us men. Now, with that being said, if I had a gay son, I would love him no different. I would teach him all that I know, and in life, whatever he chooses to be, that's what he is. Now, I would speak my piece on it, and my piece would be, hey, me personally, I don't want to walk in your room and see anything.
Would that be different? Would that be different if you walked in his room and saw him with a woman?
I don't want to see my kids doing anything.
Okay. So it's just that father.
Yeah.
I get that.
So
I get that.
I think if I had my thing would be, I think if I had a gay son, that instead of how I feel in the inside, like, oh, I don't like it, I think my fatherhood, which is telling me I'm going to draw closer. I want to have these conversations, because I have these conversations with my daughters, and my daughters, I raised them. I know their periods. I know their first boyfriend. I know their first sexual encounter, because I'm open enough to be like, okay, it's daddy time, but it's daddy friend time. Let's talk. Let's talk some real shit. I want you to use these words. I'm going to use these words with you.
I think that's good that kids, regardless of gender, boys should be able to talk to their mothers just as easily as their dads. Now, there are some things that dad needs to handle with boys. But boys still need to feel comfortable enough coming to mom about stuff if they have a problem. Same as girls need to feel comfortable coming to dad. I think is commendable.
That's going to be hard for boys and dads, though.
It
still
is.
To this day. Yeah, still to this day. They get boys will always be able to go to their mama. That's why you have a lot more mama's boys, which is a great thing.
It ain't that great all the time.
You'll always see on TV boys be waving when they playing football or whatever they doing. They're gonna say, "Hey, mama."
Yeah.
Hey, mama.
That's true.
You can have your daddy girls.
So let me.
I got 3 girls. They're all. Okay.
Oh, you can finish your thought.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
no. I'm a gentleman on the clock.
Okay, that's what's up. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
Oh, that's what's up. So the director in this, did you notice, like, as we're talking about the sexual orientation, we seen women kiss on this thing, and they had a whole girlfriend on one of them, and I just literally didn't think nothing of it. But it seems like it was highlighted with Uncle Clifford and Lil Marcus. You know, like
Lil Murder.
I know, but his name was Marcus. That was his other name. He told Uncle Clifford to call him that.
Yeah,
I don't think his name was
Lil Murder.
He told him to say, okay.
He told him to call him Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So but anywho, like, it's interesting how the director just highlighted the guys, and I think it's because it's not socially accepted. So it seems like they're starting to try to pave a way for gay men, because women, I mean, when you see woman on woman, it's just kind of like, okay,
it's just natural. Like
they were literally kissing in the bathroom stall, like, it was dirty, but they were kissing, and I was like, first thing I said is, it was nasty in that bathroom, you know, but I didn't say nothing. Like,
I didn't even see the bathroom part.
It was there. It was there.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting concept.
That was. Yeah.
Now, Chauncey, you mentioned the church. And I want to go
Oh,
because there was some church involvement in P Valley. Mercedes' mom
whew.
was pretty much raping, metaphorically speaking, was raping Mercedes for her money to put into the church fund. Now, you don't want to have nothing to do with these strippers. You throwing holy oil and holy water on them. You missed yourself with the holy water when you was throwing it, by the way. But then as soon as, I mean, it wasn't 100 or a couple of hundred. We're talking about thousands. $20,000 that you're taking of strip club money, dirty money, the devil's money, and you're using it for the church.
Right.
You're the most snakiest snake in the church. What do you guys have to say? Because that happens. I left my church.
No, you didn't.
Because of things years ago. And I'm at a new church, which I love and I adore. Shout out to the Lighthouse Church, humble, Pastor Keon Henderson there. I love y'all. Shout out to my new church. But I left my old church years ago because it was so many snakes and so many hypocrites, and they just lacked God. They didn't have the relationship. You know, I don't know what God those people served, but they did not have the relationship. It was just, you know, and I know the first thing people say, well, you're going to find that in every church. You know, you can't let the people in the church run you away. I didn't let them run me away for anything. I chose to leave because of the atmosphere that I was in. Yes, it was around me and I refused to allow it to get in me. So I left because I did not want to be associated with the foolishness, and I didn't want to continue to sow into dry, dead ground.
Right.
Evil ground. Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, anybody have any experiences with their church?
Yeah.
I haven't with a church per se, but I mean, it's just the fact that it shows to prove that there is a lot of people sitting in the pulpit that are hypocrites. You know what I'm saying? Or that doing things that's under the table, not godly like, but you come to church every Sunday, praising the Lord and asking for your tithes and blessings and all this other stuff, but you over here doing all this other stuff on the side.
Right. I saw
you do stuff that's gonna benefit you, but not benefit your church flock. You know what I'm saying? So she was trying to take and bribe Mercedes for her money. You know what I'm saying? But she knew Mercedes had a dream. And she killed that dream. You know what I'm saying?
She killed it dead, girl. Killed it dead. I couldn't believe that part.
I would have whooped my mama. I would have fought her too. I was with my
she did whoop her.
I would have. No, I'm saying I said I agree. I would have whooped my mama as well. Like I would have fought her. But on the flip side of that, you know, like women in the pulpit. You know, like she tried to earn her title. Like she seemed like she was really trying. She really wanted for people to hear what message she had, her purpose in life.
You know why I wasn't working? You know why I wasn't working? That wasn't none of her purpose. God didn't give her that. She was being self-righteous. She wanted people to praise her and not her God. She was being self-righteous. That's why she took that baby's money and started a church, because if God would have gave that to her, he would have handed her a freaking church. She wouldn't have had to lie, steal, and be deceitful to get it. That wasn't none of her purpose. That's why it didn't work for her. And that's why it's not working for a lot of people in the church. It's not God-given. It's not God-given. They being self-righteous and they want all the glory for themselves. That's why.
But at the same time, on the flip side, Crystal, it's like men were in the pulpit only back in the day. You ain't see no women really in the pulpit like that. They was on the mother's boards, they was ushers, they was singers, they was, you know, all of that. So it's also that particular instance of it too. I understood that part, that she was trying to earn her keep. You know what I'm saying? Because there was only men in the pulpit.
She wanted, I saw that she just wanted power. I saw her wanting power. I see her maybe at first, I guess, wanted to be righteous, not self-righteous, but righteous. But as the show went on, wherever she went, she grabbed the atmosphere for herself. Even though she's preaching about God, she's still preaching really to me about herself. She had a power trip. And that's my thing. And it was so funny, we talk about money. It was this pastor that I don't want to call out, Creflo Dollar. He said he's going to put. He said he's going to put machines in the beginning, in front of the church. And he said, when you walk through, it'll say you're a tithe giver. If it don't say you're a tithe giver, you are not allowed in the church. And I just thought that was so horrible that you would be worried about people's money instead of people's souls. But it happens. We're human, and that's what happens to the church. Humans have got into what God didn't want them to get into, even from the beginning. When they wanted a king, so they got a king. God wanted to be their king. God's name in Hebrew is Ahaya Ahaya. It gets no higher than that. It means I am that I am. That's his name. So he is your king. He is your governor. He is your teacher. He's your doctor. He's telling you what he is to you. So when they ask for a king, this is what happened. This is how the man got his power in the church, and this is what's going on now. That's why we got snakes in the pulpit.
Yeah, that's true. And then on top of that, like with Mercedes and her mother's relationship, although her mother bashed, like pretty much robbed her blind, like as low as it could possibly be, you know what I'm saying? And then, they're in the jail together and she whispers and says, "You're dead to me." But dude, in the end, she's banging on the church door. And she's like, "Yo, mama, I need you, like, mom." And her mama was like, nope, you dead to me, you remember? And
Yep.
I think, like, it doesn't matter how bad my child does or how they treat me. They would always be welcome to come back home. But for Mercedes' mom to do that, she really was just another chick in the streets of her mama.
Yeah.
And I think Mercedes really was trying to earn that love from her mother. Like she desired that love. And so, yes, her mother hurt her, but she still needed her love from her mama because Mercedes couldn't even raise her own kid.
Right.
Because her mama didn't even raise her. So it's like a generational situation that's going on in this. And that's another thing that the director showed is a generational curse that is happening in, I would have to say, the Black community. Because that's where I'm speaking from. And so I mean, it's something that we all just need to look at, like from church hurt to the daggone domestic violence. Yep. Oh my gosh. And that's another point. Yep. It's the domestic violence, right? Miss Iconic, what did you think about that part?
Well, I spoke briefly about that. Like I said, they just flipped the whole dynamic of it, whereas it's not a abusive Black person, it's an abusive white person, a white male beating up a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they did want to play that in to bring awareness to it, but on the downside, like Mercedes was kind of putting up with it, and at the end, like you had mentioned, for her to like save his life at the end and keep him from getting beat up. Like I was not Mercedes, Mississippi. I was hurt and I was very disappointed with Mississippi about that.
That's that crazy love.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That crazy love of the fact that, she has a baby, she lives with him. Even though he does everything that he's doing to her, she still loved him regardless. And that's how a lot of females do until they actually get fed up with that person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Eventually it's gonna hit her where she is gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be either him or her in the end. And that's the way that some people think in a domestic violence case, it's either going to be him or me. And unfortunately, there are times where the girl is gone and the guy is still living, and then there's times where it's the other way around.
That's so true. You know what? One more thing, like not even on that, but another point, and I'll leave it alone. After like all of this thing, the director also conveyed gentrification, because with Pink Valley, they're trying to downsize that thing so we can build, we can build the casino, so we can build all of this property and get more people in. And it was just like, yo, I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, y'all, so I experienced that, and everybody knows what's going on in Louisville right now with gentrification.
There are people in Louisville.
You need to quit. You need to quit.
Cool people that is in Louisville. But yeah, so you see stuff like that happens. And man, and it's a blind eye. So people looking like, ooh, casinos, wow, that's nice. But really, like, all of this stuff is history built up. And they want to knock it down so that we can just keep bringing in money, right? So that was just another thing that I felt like the directors tried to convey in this.
I don't know. I'm all for building up the community, but you're only building up certain communities. You can't just tear down the urban communities and build up the suburban communities.
Yeah.
Like that don't work because you're putting a lot of people out. You know, those people that was there, that was the only thing that a lot of them had. Actually, that was the only thing that all of them had. You know, as a far of means of making money, as a far of family, you know, that was their family. You know, the sisterhood that was displayed in P Valley was amazing because it was a lot of times I'd be like, dang, they ain't fighting. You know, they had their little pity pats, but what family, you know, what close friends don't? But at the end of the day, they stick together when it counts. You know, they stick together to raise money. They stick together to get each other out of jail. They stick together to try to keep P Valley or the Pink from closing down. You know, when they're trying to gentrify these areas and things like that. So I think it was just an outstanding job on showing that part. You know, true womanhood, like what women really go through behind the scenes. And yeah, they might be out there with a bad body swinging on a pole, but they crying at night. They trying to get their kids back. They trying to feed their kids, you know.
I like all bodies matter.
Exactly. What?
I said, I like all bodies matter.
I know that's right.
You are stupid. I just want you to know that.
My teacher told me that too. My teacher told me, but I graduated.
Chris, let me ask you one question. So with Autumn and Mercedes, towards the end when Mercedes was in jail and Autumn got her out. Now let me ask you a friendship question. Would you do, like, if I told you, yo, you can get $9,000 by doing this, would you do that with me?
What? Oh, you asking Crystal?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I spoke too.
You know how like they was doing them transactions.
I would have a bunch of questions. I would have a bunch of questions.
No, don't ask no questions.
But
no is the answer.
That's a show to prove that she was a go-getter. She was a hustler. She didn't care how she got that money. She was
trying to get hers. Trying to get her
mom messed her up.
Her job.
Like, okay, you trying to tell me I can get 9,000 and doing this and doing that? Okay, I ain't asking no questions. Let's go. Let's get it. So that she could get her studio off the ground. She could get.
You would do it with me then.
Shantae.
You gonna do it with me, right?
Tip.
Yes, Shanti.
You ain't got. Did you ask me yet?
Oh, okay, Shanti, you gonna do it with me?
What? I'm driving. Listen, you ain't got. I don't want you to tell me. You know why? Because if we get caught, the lie detector has to be taken. I don't know nothing.
Me neither.
You're like, Your Honor, I didn't know. She didn't tell me nothing.
White girl swats red and everything. I don't know nothing. I don't know.
I ain't seen nothing.
Nothing. But I sure got me some money in the refrigerator.
Hey,
girl.
Hey, Tiff, I'll be like, because I only got $5,000 knowing I got now. I only got $5,000, Your Honor.
Like, what? That's not even taxable. Like, what do you mean? The radar at 11, you know?
Oh my gosh. So y'all, to wrap up, I have one last question for everybody. I'm going to start with Chauncey, and then whoever wants to go next can go next. Chauncey and everybody on the panel, who was your favorite character of the season and why?
Okay. Whew. My favorite character probably was MISS Mississippi. I'm going to tell you why.
Say it right.
To me, that beautiful mocha skin. Oh yeah, she's 30-something years old. I know she look young.
Pretty.
That country accent. Oh my goodness.
Which is fake, by the way.
Okay.
Which is very fake. I heard her talk. Believe Chris, cuz I stalked her already, so I already know it was fake. But let me tell y'all something. It was between her and Mercedes. But after that song went on, and they were singing that song, M.I. Crooked Letter Crooked, she had me at hello. She had me. I took care of that baby. Shut up. I took care of that baby. I'd have paid child support.
Oh, Jesus.
So based on her looks, she was your in the dance. She was your favorite.
Her looks, her hustle, because she had a mind to go get. She had
Okay.
it. She was already talking about some a world star. She had it all. She just was just in love with the wrong person.
I think the world star thing went to her head just a little bit, but I still liked it though. I still liked
Oh, world starts going to my head too.
But Crystal,
it.
when you hot, you got to go. Like Kevin Hart said, it was
True.
between him and the other little guy. Who's the other little guy now? Cat Williams. You ain't know nothing about it. When you hot, you got to go get it while it gets good, or you're gonna fall off.
I agree. I agree with that. Tiff, who was your favorite?
So she's gonna get it.
So I mean, of course, I like Uncle Clifford. I think he's might be everybody's like favorite. However, I'm gonna go for the underdog right now and say Autumn. And the reason why I'm gonna say Autumn is because she went through so much. Like she even killed, you know what I'm saying? She got that dude, and she came back for Mercedes when dude said, "Hey, she ain't coming back for you." She came back for her, and so she showed her loyalty. Yep. But then at the very end, when she outbidded the dude that she was with, I was like, yes.
That was a boss move.
Yes. But then all white on, you gonna see me in all white soon, baby. So I like Autumn for the boss move that she did at the very end. She earned my respect. And as I mean, she had a ton of money and she could have been saved P Valley. She could have saved it, but she did.
I was wondering about that. Like, why did she?
That's her money. She did her money.
It was too late.
I don't know. She had all that money.
It was too late.
And you know what? With all that money, she never flossed it. Like, she still had a hoopty. And I was like, yo, wow, she wasn't living outside of her means. She was stacking her paper and still hustling like she ain't had no money. So that's the season I'm in life. So I like Autumn for 200.
Okay, Shantae.
Well, she took my person.
She could still be your favorite.
But I mean, as far as when it comes to Autumn, she was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? People underestimated her and her character, I would say. You know what I'm saying? And they tried to make it seem like, oh, she the light-skinned girl, she did, she that. But, you know, at the same time, she proved herself. You know what I'm saying? She did what she needed to do. She got out of that, you know, troubling situation. Now she's able to be free. She doesn't have that guy haunting her and, you know, her looking over her shoulder every single time, thinking, is he going to come look for her and come get her?
Yeah.
You know, so I would say, you know, Autumn was my favorite because she was an underdog. She proved herself. She also saved the pank, you know.
Yes.
So I'm all for Autumn.
What about you,
Chris? Well, you know,
Mercedes.
Mine was definitely Uncle Clifford, you know, and not, you know, in addition to the obvious reasons, but Uncle Clifford was just who he was. And actually, I believe that he goes by she, even though he's Uncle Clifford. But, you know, like you mentioned earlier, the sideburns, the crazy hairdos, the crazy dress code, like Uncle Clifford just did whatever she wanted to do. On top of that, you know, Chauncey mentioned earlier, you know, Uncle Clifford's real. Uncle Clifford is straight to the point. You know, you don't have to wonder or think. But Uncle Clifford also looks out for people. He's also nurturing. You know what I'm saying? Also got a heart of gold. Like, but about her business. You know, she's gonna make sure she got the coin, she's gonna make sure her girls are in order, she's gonna make sure she handled the business. You know, even when she was meeting with old boy, the white man on the farm, and she went out there and she took care of him after he got his ass beat, she was sitting up there, you know, wiping off his blood, and he said something about y'all niggers. Right. And Uncle Clifford said, you may want to change that to a up, but I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna pat your blood. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Clifford was just like, you know, I'm not letting Uncle Clifford was unbothered by anything, you know, and bossed up for the entire show. Uncle Clifford bossed up, and that's my favorite.
Chris, now will you let Uncle Clifford pray for you?
No.
Uncle Clifford's prayer saved 2020, baby.
Real quick.
Uncle Clifford's prayer saved 2020. You hear me? The realest prayer. I was say Uncle Clifford.
Oh, that prayer was something else.
Jesus, I don't know if Jesus really wanted that one from y'all, but
I'm going to go to some of the
I might
comments. Tiff, if you see some of the comments.
okay.
Francesca Brown says, I love that show. Jessica Farrow says, I was hooked the first episode. There's another comment. I could definitely relate because it really shows everything that goes down in that industry. And I know from experience. Thank you, Francesca.
Hey, Frankie.
Isola, M-I, cricket letter, I. Yes, it's raunchy, but a great storyline. Jessica says Mercedes has swag. She got everybody's attention when she got on stage, and she was deserving of being the OG of the club.
She's not an OG.
Okay.
She was the bottom.
She's the bottom. Bitch.
Isola says they were definitely trying to warn y'all about those saved Christian folks like Patrice. That sounds like an old heathen name.
Right,
Patrice.
exactly.
She's so mad at her. Her name was Patricia.
Church.
I'm mad at Patricia though. She
Isola says it was when Lil Murda told Unc to call him Lamarcus for me.
Lamarcus.
Okay.
Lamarcus.
Hey,
That was a shift in their relationship, huh, Isola? I get it.
Jessica said it was a cute date. Jessica, that's a battery running down date, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna take you on a date like that, Jess.
Oh.
It's my sister.
So this is an interesting comment from Isola. Says, I think it's been rooted in our culture as Black people. Dating back to the days of slavery, the slave master will rape the biggest and most visually intimidating slave in front of the rest to prove their power. Wow. So for a Black man to lay with another man is appalling and almost disrespectful to other Blacks. I think at some point we have to change the narrative because this mentality is hurting our LGBTQ family.
Well, so it's like
I get that.
That's what they did.
There's also a little bit of that in the movie as well with those brothers. You know what I'm saying? They had white brothers, and then the one that was mixed. You know what I'm saying? So, and even Uncle Clifford knew something about it. They didn't specify what it was, but they already knew, you know, so that also plays back to that time as well. So that's a good comment.
We don't know who the mixed one's mama is yet.
Oh my goodness. Church hurt is real. Jeffrey F. Edwards. Yes, it is. Somebody gave a shout out to my pastor. I love him, Pastor Keon. Yes. Let's see. Do y'all now? I am going to butcher this name.
Oh shit.
Jolanda doing me. I got you. Do y'all think she couldn't deal with the mother or left her mother alone? I don't know on which part that was a comment about.
I think she loved her mama regardless. Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a love-hate relationship because it's still a mama.
They definitely had that love-hate relationship.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Isola said she hated the dynamic between Mercedes, her daughter, and the stepmom. I understand not liking the lifestyle, but at the end of the day, that was her child, and the stepmama was wrong. I feel like she's talking out of aggression towards her deceased husband and Mercedes. In the long run, the only person that's getting hurt is the daughter, and God forbid that the little girl grows with hate in her heart.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
now, I do partially agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chauncey, what you say?
I said because I think Mercedes slept with her husband, and that's how they had a child.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
And then he died. So does the stepmom have a right to be angry? Abso-freaking-lutely. You know what I'm saying? I am raising your child and you keep disappointing her, and I have to be the one to go back to this baby and pick her back up off the ground in her tears.
And all that stuff.
And you know, I have to do that. So I think some of it was probably aggression towards the whole, like, you slept with my husband or whatever and had this baby on me. But I think a lot of it was.
But if it was truly evil, she wouldn't have to deal with it. She would just say, "Hey, this is my child. I got custody. Yo, you messed up. Your fault. Bye bye." But she's still dealing with her.
That part.
And that's a strong black. That's a strong black woman.
It
I mean,
is.
we got. Oh, I couldn't do it. I'm glad I ain't a woman.
I don't know if I could do it either.
Then they said Loretta, she loved the grandmama, so grandmama was good, Loretta. But I was trying to figure out if she was really blind. I was like, Loretta, why you keep walking? Sit down somewhere. You like, come look at this picture. This he is such and such.
Then she wanted to drive to the courthouse.
Hey, Loretta, if you sit down and be
Okay. So that was a little comedy added in there. Okay. I didn't even catch that, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Real fresh
Oh
on
my
my
goodness.
Yeah, that's what's up, yo. I think overall this was awesome, right? Would you all recommend this?
Yeah, definitely. You
That's
know,
what's up.
you
You
gotta
all-
really like feed into it. You can't just watch it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, it looked like a little low budget urban movie. You know, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, they still made it to where you can understand and you can relate to it.
True.
Yeah.
Well, listen, as a man, I liked it. I mean, there's strippers involved. Okay. I'm sorry, but I'm a man. So would I recommend it? I bet you half of y'all watched Magic Mike. I didn't.
And we recommend that for you to watch
No,
it.
that's for
You can watch it now.
Uncle Cliff was enough.
I didn't watch Magic Mike. I don't like those type of movies. I really only watch black movies. I'm trying to expand, but
Yeah, it was a no for me with Magic Mike though.
Mm.
yeah.
But you watched it.
I watched it to see what the hype was about, but
Right.
that's just for me.
You gotta watch it if you like it or not. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, man.
That's
Thank
what's
you
up.
so much to
Yes.
our panelists. Thank you, Shantae, for your point of view, and Chauncey for your perspective. Always welcomed to the neighborhood here at Real Soul Speak. Okay. Tiff, thank you always for co-hosting with me, my lovely co-host.
Of course.
So we're going to go ahead and sign out, guys. Y'all already know who this is, man. It's the hostess
Girl.
that always does the absolute hostess. Today I'm doing the mostest at the Pink.
At the Pink. And
Right down in the valley where the girls get that kick. 1, 2, break 'em. 3, 4, break 'em. This your girl Two Tone, baby, and we out.